David Nixon, Brian Logan, all of us at BYU TV Sports. I'm Dave McCann. Now, Blaine and I will see you in about 60 minutes for BYU and Northwestern State basketball tonight.
We're heading over.
It's a long day, but it's a great day. The coach is next. We'll see you in an hour, and then all of us will see you back here next Tuesday for more After Further Review here on BYU TV. Thanks for being here tonight.
Coming up on BYU Football with Kalani Sitake, the Bluecoats of BYU earn a victory in New England against UMass. Now they turn their attention to potential bowl eligibility and New Mexico State. We'll review and preview with the head ball coach next on BYU Football with Kalani Sitake.
Woo! Roll right, lets it go, finds his guy, touchdown!
Hill for a first down and more, hurdles his way, touchdown!
Quarterback tied up, waiting. Here's the pass. Touchdown!
Toss to Luke. Luke on the sidelines at the 20. To the 15, gonna go! Touchdown, BYU! Hadley middle, sidestep, and left he goes. Touchdown, Cougars! Wilson downfield for Pau, and it is caught at the 10-yard line! Wilson throws down and in some way, makes the catch, going for the goal line. He's there! Touchdown!
This is BYU Football with Kalani Sitake, presented by Intermountain Healthcare. And now, your host, Spencer Linton.
Welcome on BYU TV and BYU Radio. We are live, your weekly VIP access to all things BYU football as told by the man in charge, Kalani Sitake. Hope you're enjoying this Tuesday evening. Great to have you with us. You can always join the conversation by submitting questions for tonight's guests using hashtag Sitake Show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and on the BYU TV sports accounts. And now, tonight's main event, fresh off win number 5 on the East Coast, no less. In his 3rd season at the helm, head coach of the BYU football Cougars, Kalani Sitake. Coach, congratulations again on win number 5. Your team successfully traversing the always tricky 2-time zone East Coast road trip. It was an early game. How would you grade the overall performance by your team against UMass?
Well, we got the win, and that was the ultimate goal, you know. And we ran into some of the elements there, but I think for the most part, just thankful that the coaches worked really hard and our players were ready for this game. We ran into some adversity early, and they battled back, and just really proud of the way the players played, and extremely happy that they executed the game plan. It went really well.
All right, let's review the highlights in moving picture format. BYU at UMass last Saturday from Foxborough and Gillette Stadium. The Minutemen got the scoring started early with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. They score a field goal, penalty aided, and then turnover aided. They get the ball back inside the 29. What's going through your mind right now, Coach?
Well, tough start. I mean, it would have been nice to hold them to a field goal in this position, but we made a few mistakes, and it was rough, you know, going down 10-0, but the guys didn't stop believing, and they kept playing. It was a good drive for us here.
They bounce back right here. Specifically, Zach Wilson rips off a huge run inside the 30 of UMass, later setting up Talon Shumway for the first of his 2 touchdowns. What'd you like about this play?
Yeah, Talon's a big target, and he's been very athletic, and I think he's becoming one of Zach's favorite guys to throw to.
Matt Hadley, we'll hear more from him later today. Inside the red zone once again with BYU trailing 10-7, and then just before halftime, if some Talon Shumway is good, more Talon Shumway is better.
Yeah, just give him the ball, and he creates good pass protection, but really happy that they scored there.
Final play of the half. Well, your BYU defense comes up big again. For whatever reason, the field goal defense has been amazing this year, Coach. Number 1 in the country right now with field goals missed by the opponents. Then Rhett Sandlin. Boy, did he have an afternoon. 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. Yeah,
I'm just really happy with what he did and being able to give him some reps, and he made the most of them, and I think you'll see a little bit more of him this next week as well.
Some trickeration right here as Zach Wilson goes deep to Neil Pau. Highlight catch of the game, BYU up 14-10 and looking for more inside the red zone.
Yeah, dangerous throw, I mean, but, you know, just put it up where only Neil can catch it, and Neil made a great play. And you know, I think we had some success in the red zone, especially after the last 2 weeks, and it was nice to punch it in and get some touchdowns.
And how about the vision of Matt Hadley right there on the cutback, 21-10 BYU, and Neil Pau was not done. Open again for a long game down the sideline, setting up a Levihipo on the jet sweep. We hadn't seen this for a while. It came back right here, Coach.
Yeah, it was a good time. I liked what Coach Grimes did with the play calls in the red zone, and changing it up. We did a lot of different runs. You see a level here again on the end around, and just keeping them guessing. Did a lot of different things, and I'm just really happy with the outcome.
BYU wins 35-16 to move to 5-5 on the season. Game stats presented by Nissan Intelligent Mobility. Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway. 388 total yards for BYU, and they rattle off at one point 35 consecutive points. Coach, anytime you have over 200 rush yards, that's been a very good sign for your team.
Yeah, and then on the other side, you know, I mean, defensively really happy with what they did. You know, we had some opportunities to create some turnovers, but we'll capitalize on it and make it work this week. But just happy with the overall team, all three phases. It was really difficult for Rhett to punt into the. It seemed like all his punts were into the wind, and he had one that with the wind that he put inside the 20, and just got, you know, I think overall a good team win, and just happy that our guys played well and practiced well, and it showed in the game.
Now let's talk about that turnaround from your BYU defense. Of course, you gave it the 10 points very early, but then you didn't give up any points on the next 10 UMass drives. What sparked the turnaround? I
think just everybody's settling down and playing assignment-sound football. We had a couple breakdowns in coverage, and then a couple missed assignments in the first drive. And the second drive, you know, I would like to have seen us respond better to a sudden change, but after that, it was pretty much locked down, and against an offense that's been explosive and has put up a lot of points and yards on other people, and we held them to their lowest output. And that last drive that they scored on was, you know, we gave a lot of guys different opportunities to play, and you saw Sione Takitaki run in to try to see if he can get a stop in there, and he actually was one of the guys that gave up a big play in it. So it didn't really work out with him jumping in there trying to save the day. So it'd been nice for him to just let the younger guys and other guys get more experience. But I think that's okay. It's a good moment for them to play and try to get out of drives. I think that it was worth the extra points. And
you held UMass to season low in total yardage at 285. By the numbers, BYU features a top 35 defense in most major statistical categories, but you always want more. So what's the next step for your defense as a unit?
Well, just be consistent. I think defensively they've been playing really well, and going off of the game plan that our coaches are teaching and the technique, and you're starting to buy into all of it. We're getting more guys on the field. You saw Rhett Sandlin and others that are playing a lot more. So we had a lot of young guys in secondary with the injury to Chris Wilcox, and so guys are stepping up, and they're using as much of their experience that they can to you know, just play and have fun, and it's showing in the way that they're producing in the numbers. But being greedy, we can always do more, you know. So I think that every week it's another challenge, and this one would be another challenge with New Mexico State, being able to throw the ball around quite a bit. But you know, I was really pleased with all three phases, and I know we're talking about the defense now, but I think a good offense and being able to sustain drives really helps the defense get rest and make adjustments on the sideline.
Sure, and your BYU offense put up the second highest output in terms of points, 35, next to only the 49 you scored against Hawaii at home. 5 touchdowns. Why was the offense so successful on Saturday after that shaky start?
Well, I think they just executed. I mean, you look at not a lot of mistakes were made, and no false starts, no penalties. You know what I mean? It was a clean game. Good execution, and then we got the ball in the hands of our guys that can make plays. And Matt Hadley has a great vision. Same thing with Aleva, and being able to trust him even after the fumble was mostly you taught Aleva, he'll say it was his fault, but being able to trust him and keep giving him the ball, you know, I think that boosts his confidence, and I think our guys are progressing every week, and it's good timing to progress into this New Mexico State week.
All right, we are rolling right now. A programming note, your day-to-day BYU Sports play-by-play happens on BYU Sports Nation with myself and co-host Jerem Jordan weekdays at noon Eastern, live on BYU TV and BYU Radio. When we come back, what's on the line this Saturday night with New Mexico State in town? Of course, it's senior night, so we'll preview it and bowl game aspirations surrounding it. This is BYU Football with Kalani Sitake.
I volunteer at Primary Children's Hospital because I care about helping families with sick kids.
I volunteer at the 512 Foundation because I care about our kids and community.
And I volunteer because I care about Utah's future engineers.
Do you know someone who cares about making our community better? I Am Flash will recognize your unsung hero and donate $1,000 to their favorite local charity. IamFlash.com/hero.
I care about making the world a happier place.
You're watching Super Tuesday on BYU TV, presented by Siegfried and Jensen.
Okay, welcome to life. Can I get you started with some education?
Charity! Charity! Tomato best, lobster best.
Delay.
Delay.
Get ready for family movie night here on BYU TV. An image consultant magically meets an 8-year-old kid who just happens to be himself. Through wacky adventures, together they'll learn about confidence and loving yourself in Disney's The Kid. Grab the popcorn and hit the lights for family movie nights all this month on BYU TV.
I ain't got no chill.
The BYU TV Sports Countdown to Kickoff. BYU versus New Mexico State. 9 Eastern, 7 Mountain. Saturday on BYU TV. Blue runs deep on BYU TV. Watch BYU take on Northwestern State live tonight at 9 Eastern, 7 Mountain on BYU TV. Watch all of your favorite BYU teams on BYU TV, your home for Cougar Sports.
I'm Spencer Linton from BYU Sports Nation. You are watching BYU TV. See the good.
BYU Football with Kalani Sitake is brought to you by Intermountain Healthcare, healing for life. And by Nissan, innovation that excites.
There are some of the seniors that will play their final home game at LaVell Edwards Stadium this Saturday on display. BYU Football with Kalani Sitake on BYU TV and BYU Radio rolls on from Studio C with a closer look at Saturday's game day schedule. Cougar pregame live starts at 8:15 Eastern. BYU TV's countdown to kickoff. Brand new edition live at 9 Eastern. The game kicks at 10:15 Eastern on ESPN2 and BYU Radio with post-game coverage on the radio and BYU TV after that. Basically, we have you covered from all angles. Coach, let's continue with what you've learned about New Mexico State over the past few days in your own personal film review and with your coaches. What do the Aggies do best?
Well, they'll run the clock real quick and they'll throw the ball quite a bit, and they've used a number of quarterbacks. But I think they're going to favor more of a spread, 10 personnel with 4 wideouts. They'll use a tight end occasionally, but for the most part, offensively, they're going to spread the ball and try to throw the ball quite a bit. On defense, they'll pressure quite a bit, and they'll bring a lot of 5-man fire zone type of pressures. They'll play quarters behind it, and a good opportunity for our offense to make big plays if we can capitalize on some of the risks that they take. But they're a good coach. I mean, they went to a bowl game. They broke the streak last year and got to a bowl game and beat Utah State in that bowl game. And I know that they have a lot of experience on the coaching staff, so we have to be ready. I know they'll play hard, and we're expecting their best shot. We just need to make sure that ours shows up on Saturday night as well.
Well, Saturday night also presents BYU with an opportunity to become bowl eligible, of course, after missing the postseason last year. How do you mentally balance the focus on the next game, the next opponent, New Mexico State, but also know that you're one win away from getting to kind of one of those major goal obstacles that you set way back last year?
Well, all we care about is winning this game and keeping it focused on the 1 week at a time mentality. You know, obviously our guys know what's going into it, but we only talk about beating New Mexico State. We're not talking about anything else. We'll let Tom Homo and the administration worry about the rest. And so you talking about bowl eligibility, ask me that next week in next week's episode, you know, that. But right now, I'm not really worried about that. Just trying to get this game.
All right, I'm marking that down for Greg Wrubell.
Yeah,
okay.
We'll spend more on it next week if we can.
We'll hold off there.
Yeah.
Now, you said earlier this week, a player never forgets his final home game.
Yeah.
In fact, your final home game was LaVell Edwards' final home game when they named the stadium after him. What a special moment that was for you. With that in mind, you have several notable players that will take the field for the final time at LES. What would the ideal scenario look like for all 25 of those guys when they play their final home game?
Well, the first win, you know, and that's the first part, and then that's all that really matters. After that, we'll just kind of figure it out as we go along. But just really proud of our guys, and then looking forward to sending them on a high note and winning their final game in LaVell Edwards Stadium, and that's the goal. So There's a lot of great young men there that have really worked a lot and sacrificed quite a bit for this program and this university, and so it'd be nice to send them out with a win and do it the right way.
All 25 players are being featured on BYU TV right now. We're showing the names. What advice do you have for these guys as they go into this last game?
Oh, they're great kids. I mean, I think most of them, they understand what it's all about, and they're grateful for their opportunity that they have. And these guys it's been an honor being their head coach, you know, and I'm just excited to see them play another game this week. And some of the guys are banged up, but for the most part, they're all part of this team. Whether they're on the field or not, they have important roles. What
do you remember most about your senior day game?
I just remember because we weren't expecting it to be called Lavelle Edwards Stadium. And then when that banner came up, we were really excited about it. And I don't remember much other than that we won the game, and that I was excited that I was 1-0 as a player in Lavelle Edwards Stadium. I'm undefeated in that stadium as a player. So maybe I should suit up.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Super Tuesday on BYU TV continues at the top of the hour. BYU men's basketball in Game 3 of their young season. They'll host the Northwestern State Demons. TJ Haas led the way with 23 points for the Cougars Friday night in a crosstown rivalry clash, a win against Utah Valley, and Jashir Hardnett set a new career high with 17 points a week ago at 7th-ranked Nevada. As for the Demons, their guard, LaTerrence Reed, is putting up 15 points a game on 54% shooting this season. That game tips off at the top of the hour. As we head to break, a reminder that you can enjoy a full hot breakfast. Dinner Monday through Wednesday, a kitchen and a large grassy backyard along the Provo River Trail, all at the Residence Inn Marriott in Provo. Up next, the coach answers your questions in studio and from social media. This is BYU Football with Kalani Sitake.
Well, I did it again. Perfect dinner, weird toy for Kate. Even Nana's happy, and Nana hates everything. Oh, and I earned triple rewards while doing it? Time to treat myself.
Visa triple rewards from Mountain America on all purchases through December 31st.
Don't worry, Dad. Mama's got rewards.
Be a holiday hero with Visa triple rewards from Mountain America.
They prefer to be bringing the heat, getting set for success, demonstrating their drive. But when their blood and sweat turns to tears or anything else, we lay the groundwork for BYU's athletes to hit the ground running again. And you as well. Intermountain Healthcare, official medical provider for BYU Athletics.
Drop the verbal bomb. Let's go over who should be the starting quarterback.
And App Envy. Watch BYU Sports Nation on BYU TV and BYU radio apps.
I didn't think that would go public.
I feel like we're home right here.
Welcome back to BYU Football with Kalani Sitake on a Super Tuesday. Let's recap some notable performances from Cougars in the NFL. Beginning with the New Orleans Saints Swiss Army knife, Taysom Hill. He rushed 4 times for 24 yards and had a tackle in a Saints blowout win over the Bengals. Just your typical stat line from a quarterback. After visiting with the Cougars at Gillette Stadium on Saturday, Kyle Van Noy had 13 total tackles, 5 solo, in a Patriots loss at Tennessee the next day. One of Kyle's BYU linebacker brethren, Fred Warner, had 4 tackles, 2 pass deflections for the San Francisco 49ers in a Monday night loss to the New York Giants. And how about Daniel Sorensen of the Kansas City Chiefs making an impact upon his return from the injured reserve? had 5 tackles in a win over Arizona. This is always one of the more fun things to do with you coaches. Look back at guys you know well, some of them you coached directly. What do you think of the most recent NFL highlighted performances by Cougars in the NFL?
Well, that's really cool, and to have them around, you know, we got to see Kyle out there in Boston, and he came and visited us before the game and the day before the hotel, and so it's just really nice to have those guys, all those guys that you just talked about on the screen, where they're involved in our program. They come and work out. Daniel works out with the guys a lot in the summer, so you see them around, and you saw Taysom here during the break when he had a bye earlier this year. So it's just nice to have that camaraderie still with our guys, and you know, just nice to see them performing well on Sundays.
You know, in a perfect world, you would have the ability to spend as much time as you want, keep in contact with all of these guys, but you got to worry about 100+ guys on your current BYU football team. So how do you manage the time there to try and keep that camaraderie alive?
Oh, I mean, it's the guys in the NFL and our alumni, everyone that, whether they're in the NFL or not, they stay in touch with our players, and they're always welcome to come back to our facility and be involved with the team. And we have our flag bearers that run out quite a bit, and so we're always being involved with our alumni and making sure that they know how much we care about them and the sacrifices that they've made on the field. We're trying to make them proud of what we do on and off the field.
All right, a reminder to use hashtag Sitake Show on Twitter and comment on the BYU TV Sports Facebook and Instagram pages for a chance to see your question asked during our Q&A session, which just so happens to begin now here in Studio C. And we will go now to a social media question first, Coach. Angie Farnes asks on Facebook, how much will we see the senior Tanner Mangum on Saturday?
Well, I mean, hopefully, you know, I don't think a lot of people know this, but the last couple weeks, he hasn't been 100%, and so trying to overcome. He got banged up a little bit a couple weeks ago, and so he's a lot better now. I'm practicing 100% now, and you know, he's battling for playing time with the others, with Jaron, and we'll see how it works. But yeah, I think he's back to 100%, and that should help us.
I think the whole goal is to try and get all those seniors some action at some point.
Yeah, I mean, let's just win the game, you know, and I think if we need to get those guys on the field, then we will, depending on injury or whatever the situation is in the game. But it's just nice to see Tanner 100% back, ready to go and practicing in full strength.
Betty Davis also asks on Facebook, you've asked for an aggressive offense a lot. Are you seeing what you want to see now?
Yeah, but I mean, I think aggressive means there's so many different definitions to it, and it could be, it's one of those things where it's a safe word for me to say as a coach, because, like, yeah, go crazy. But in a stiff wind and in the conditions, it would be, I want them to be aggressive but smart, you know, so I need to add that into it too. Aggressive but smart, because to be aggressive and just not understand the conditions would be really foolish of us. So as long as we win the game and we can be aggressive and entertain the fans, but then be smart, and that would make things better. So we'll progress on that quote every day.
Okay, aggressively smart.
Yeah. Just, yeah, no stupid mistakes.
It's a good formula to win football games. Please, no stupid mistakes.
Yeah,
all right.
And be
break.
Aggressive. And get after it, yeah. That's my speech. There we go.
Full send. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you, Coach. Wednesdays at 8 Eastern on BYU Radio. Get better acquainted with Cougars past and present on Behind the Mic, a weekly hour of in-depth conversation. This week, BYU men's basketball coach Dave Rose joins Greg Wrubell for a full hour. Tomorrow, 8 Eastern, listen in on BYU Radio. Still on the way, senior running back Matt Hadley and his world of big changes, not just on the football field. It's all about life for him. This is BYU Football with Kalani Sitake.
BYU Food to Go's convenient location at 2191 North Canyon Road in Provo makes bringing popular BYU foods to your next event easy. Everything's ready when you need it at the drive and load pickup. You drive in and they load no matter the weather. And stop in the on-site creamery for great BYU chocolate milk and ice cream. BYU Food to Go, bringing campus to your table. Call for details, 801-422-5001.
Tim Daly Ford in Spanish Fork sells Ford vehicles including the F-150, the pickup designed for work and play. Tim Daly Ford maintains a large inventory, providing more choices for selecting an F-150 with the power and engineering to carry and tow heavy loads. The F-150's design offers comfort, safety, and a range of options to choose from. Think Ford. Think Tim Daly Ford in Spanish Fork.
Everybody, smile. My character is Dwight. I'm Dwight. Dwight. Model citizen. Nicest kid around, always doing things for other people. You helping with a school fundraiser? Sure am.
Mortal enemy or harmless peasant? Princess Greta is a Gothic warrior princess from 1,000 years ago.
You have the honor of addressing Princess Greta, the besieged. I am her court magician, Baldric. He is responsible for casting the champion spell. This is the champion we've been waiting for.
We're watching your every move.
Hexala is a little bit of an enigma. I like to keep her that way.
Curious. This is the happiest day of my life.
Clodwig?
My full title is actually Prince Clodwig the Unstable, because I'm known to be semi-volatile.
There aren't too many shows out there these days that everyone can watch and enjoy. And I think this will certainly be one.
Welcome back to BYU Football with Kalani Sitake, live on BYU TV and BYU Radio, presented by Intermountain Healthcare. A programming note: at the top of the hour, we go live to the Marriott Center, where star forward Yoli Childs is warming up for the game after another double-double performance on Friday night against Utah Valley. And junior guard Zach Celius shooting 44% from the three-point line through 2 games as a new starter. One of his opponents, Ishmael Lane, scored 24 points, pulled down 13 rebounds for the Demons against SMU. BYU men's basketball and Northwestern State live on BYU TV at the top of the hour. Senior Matt Hadley has played a handful of positions at BYU, including safety, linebacker, and currently he's starring as a running back. Join with me now and welcome Matt Hadley to Studio C. Yeah. All right, Matt, you've known a lot of change over the past few years, perhaps none more stark than what you are experiencing now as a brand new father to a beautiful new baby. What's life like with a newborn in your home?
It's tiring, but no, it's been wonderful. Honestly, that's probably the best word to describe it. It's nothing like I could have imagined. I have a lot of siblings that have kids, so I've grown up with. Well, the past few years I've been around a lot of my nieces and nephews, but having your own is something special.
You look at these pictures of your baby that we're putting on BYU TV right now, and it's hard to describe the moment that your child is born and the love that you feel and all of that, but you had to do this after a loss. So explain what that day was like. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me, Spencer.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no, it was, I mean, Coach Sitake is probably the best. No, not probably. He is the best at reminding us that we, after a win or a loss, especially after losses, we take care of it in the locker room, and then when we get out, we need to be with our families. And, that was just something that I've tried to put into practice. And so transitioning from the locker room to my family and then being at the hospital right away, yeah, it was something I just needed to do, and yeah.
Well, we're pleased to have some of your family here with us. Your mom, your beautiful baby Scotland is here, so it's great to have the Hadley clan here.
Yeah, it's good to see them.
You have a unique backdrop, including growing up on a farm in Connell, Washington. How has that shaped you as not just a football player, but as an individual here at BYU?
Oh, that's a great question. One that could probably we could probably sit for hours talking about, to be honest, because of all the experiences that I had. I think one thing that it taught me that really sticks out is just working hard, and I think that I've tried to do that the best I can during my time here, whether it's in school or out on the football field, and but it's something that I think will help me for the rest of my life.
We already mentioned the several position changes that you've gone through, most recently switching back to running back. What's been the most challenging part about kind of traversing all of those changes?
Yeah, probably just getting in a rhythm, I think, is probably one of the toughest things. Going back and forth. The speed of the game is the same, but finding a rhythm individually to, be able to perform and on offense or on defense, I think has probably been one of the toughest things.
Coach, what have you seen from your senior Matt Hadley and his ability to transition from position to position and make an impact?
Well, he's a great leader, and part of that is he's just willing to do whatever it takes to help the team. And he's versatile and athletic. That's why we've asked him to play so many different positions. But he's a team guy first, and he's a hard worker, one of the hardest workers I've ever been around. And so I think we've asked him a lot of different challenges to play running back and to play safety and linebacker. And he's a guy that can start at a lot of different positions. But he is 0 for 1 in passing. But he'll blame that on the wind. He'll blame it on the wind in the last game. But
that's the wind.
No, but I mean, just extremely versatile and just a great young man. And it's an honor for me to be his coach. But you look at the way he handles things, and it's just a hard worker. And I love the fact that he's a great husband and great father. And he's been lucky. This is his second time senior night, right?
Yeah, it is.
Because he had one last year, and then at the banquet we honored him and gave him a helmet and did the whole framing the jersey.
We need another one of those.
So he gets to get 2 of those, and so it's nice that he gets to experience senior night twice.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people have done that. So you got 2 blankets, 2 helmets, 2 jerseys, all that stuff.
Take it.
Yeah, and you're right. Not many get to experience that. I can think of one on top of my mind, Taysom Hill. I do want to say this. We just looked at your stats. Not many guys are going to leave BYU football's program with multiple tackles for loss and multiple touchdowns scored and multiple pass breakups and receptions. I mean, you've got an interesting stat line.
Yeah, I guess. No, it's honestly, it's been an incredible experience. My 5 seasons here, and I can truly say that I've loved every minute of it. There have been times where you might not have liked it because it's hard, but I really have loved it.
What do you expect from this senior night compared to last year's?
I'm hoping for a win that will spring us into being bowl eligible. I think to be able to accomplish one of our goals that we've set. That's one thing that we didn't have the opportunity to do last year during senior night. And then, of course, just being able to be on the field, I think for me, that's going to be different than from last year. So, yeah.
All right, already looking up compared to what happened last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
The fact that you'll be playing. So, yeah, it's a good start. Okay, let's go to some Q&A now, Matt. And we have a studio question from Brenton Farrell.
How's it going?
Hey.
So looking back over your time here at BYU, what is one of your favorite moments that is not related to football or your son being born, since that's a little too easy?
Good question. I think one of the best experiences I had, so my wife ran track here, and she made it to regionals, which is really tough to do, and the triple jump. And so going to Texas to watch her compete was probably one of the best experiences I've had here. It's fun. It's fun seeing that look in her eyes, like the same look that I get out on the field. And it was a cool experience.
All right, question number 1 from social media for Matt. Jonathan Graham on Instagram asks, which side of the ball do you enjoy playing on more? Of course you look at Coach.
I just like him on the field. That doesn't really matter for me.
No, I think that's a tough question. I've come to love both sides of the ball. I think probably offense has slowly won my heart back over. I had it when I was in high school for sure, but
scoring touchdowns will do that, Matt.
It's fun. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I would say that.
Brett Johnson asks on Facebook, would you rather change a baby's diaper or take on a block from a blitzing linebacker?
Is my wife in here still? No, I think I would rather probably change the diaper, to be honest. Getting a 7-yard, a big guy getting a 7-yard head start at you isn't always the most enjoyable thing, but I'd probably change a diaper.
Okay, okay, I like the honesty. Check out BYU Sports Nation right now with Kiki Solano. It's the latest in Cougar sports with a social media twist. Watch it right now on the BYU Sports Nation Facebook, IGTV, Twitter, and YouTube accounts. If you're looking for an even more convenient way to shop at Smith's, try Smith's Click List. Order online, pick up curbside at the store. Visit smithsfoodanddrug.com for details. After the break, BYU offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes joins the party in Studio C. How different is live coaching for BYU compared to playing against BYU? He's experienced both. This is BYU Football with Kalani Sitake.
If I got hurt and was laid up at home, I wouldn't even think to call a lawyer. What a hassle. I'd want to meet them first.
What if I told you that for your first consultation, your lawyer will come to you, home or hospital?
Really?
Really.
They do that?
If you've been injured, we'll come to you. It's your job to get better. It's our job to deal with the insurance companies.
Learn more at siegfriedandjensen.com.
Have a car wreck? Martin's Collision Repair.
The right repair, the right paint, the right choice. Martin's Collision Repair.
Everybody enjoys a little prank from time to time. Add a little magic to the prank, and things get even more interesting.
That is insane.
This season, I'm teaming up with families to prank siblings, friends, parents, and their kids. What?
You're on TV right now.
I'm Eric LeClaire, and it's time for a little mischief.
This is why you brought me here?
High fives. You guys are awesome. High fives.
It's game day for the Cougars here on BYU TV. Tonight, live at 7 Mountain, watch as Coach Rose and the BYU men's basketball team seek to build momentum for the season as they face Northwestern State. Then, on Thursday night, watch the basketball team go at it again with Oral Roberts' Golden Eagles live at 7 Mountain. Watch your favorite BYU TV shows here and catch up anytime on BYUtv.org or the BYU TV app. BYU Football with Kalani Sitake is brought to you by Intermountain Healthcare, healing for life.
Take a good look at a few more of the seniors who will suit up at Lavelle Edwards Stadium for the final time on Saturday night. Super Tuesday continues on BYU TV and BYU Radio. Welcome back to Studio C. Use hashtag Sitake Show on Twitter and comment on the BYU TV Sports Facebook and Instagram pages for a chance to see your question asked later this segment. Let's go ahead and make room for a third guest. In his first season as offensive coordinator at BYU, he just led BYU to a 5-touchdown winning performance at UMass and still rocking an elite mustache. Give it up for Jeff Grimes. All right, Coach, in the oft-transient profession of coaching college football, your resume has become long and very impressive. And you've pointed out multiple times that the sacrifices of your family have played a large part in your growing success. So let's start there. How's your family doing and settling into their new home in Utah?
Family's doing great. Really, really enjoy it here. As my sweatshirt shows, throwback here.
I love it.
That I've been here before, and our time here before certainly made it really easy for us to come back.
We're taking a look at your family, and the mustache thing we'll get to in just a bit, but clearly you're setting a precedent for your fellow coaches with the ability to rock some facial hair.
I was for some of the players, but
Matt's mustache is now gone.
He had a really good one for a while.
Your mustache, in fact, has been the cause of some fun discussion and recently inspired a few Halloween costumes, my older brother included in that. Yet you're quick to credit J.D. Fossil for having the best mustache on the coaching staff. What made you come to that conclusion?
I think if you compare the things that matter the most,
let's do that right now.
Thickness, shape, And how it conforms to your face, I think you got to give JD the upper hand.
Love it. You played college football at UTEP, a strapping lad, no less, and you admittedly detested BYU when you played for the Miners of UTEP. What was it like to play for the Miners against BYU?
No fun. It was the only team in the conference that we never beat, and every year started the year dreaming of the opportunity to win the game, but never were able to do so.
Hey, you're doing some good work here. We're spot shadowing you. Did you expect that we would find this when you came in today?
No, I thought I had burned all this tape. I didn't think that it was still out there, but you can find anything nowadays if you look hard enough, right?
Yes, we can. All right, now to the football, Coach, that's actually being played today. How different is your offense now compared to what it was in Game 1 against Arizona?
Quite a bit different for a number of reasons. One, we had a number of guys injured that aren't with us anymore, and that affected our ability to play with multiple tight ends and do some of the things that some of those other guys were able to do early on. And obviously making a switch at quarterback brought a different skill set to us at that position. And I think if you look at the ways that we're moving the football now, it's quite a bit different. A lot less is happening prior to the snap, but more decisions being made post-snap.
Matt, let me ask you this. The way that the offense is structured right now, do you like it more because it means you get the ball more?
Well, I mean, I would say that I think it's definitely the right direction for us with who we have out on the field. I think it's been an awesome transition for us, and I think as the offensive unit, we've really taken it to heart.
Coach, how would you assess the play of Matt Hadley after switching back again to running back and now taking a larger role?
Outstanding. Just I feel really blessed to have him with us. When we started the season, we talked as coaches about our entire team, and I credit Coach Sitake and some of the defensive coaches just for being open-minded, and we talked about everyone on our team and trying to put the right pieces into the right places. And I just asked the question if anyone felt like there was someone out there that could help us at running back. And Coach Lamb talked about how much he loves Matt, and I said, who? I didn't really know who that guy was back at the time. Oh, that little kind of bowed-up white kid? Yeah, I like him, yeah. And so, we brought him over, and then, he showed some flashes, but then couldn't stay healthy for a little while, and just didn't really have the opportunity, I think, to show what he had until later in the season. But what's been cool is he's shown up and played really well when we've needed him the most. And in addition to his playmaking ability on the field, I love what he brings to our offense. He brings some maturity to a really young group of players and some confidence and toughness that, quite honestly, we really have needed down the stretch.
I've had a few people ask me what it's like to be on a headset as a member of a coaching staff. And I said, well, I haven't experienced it, but I can ask some guys that have done it. So for Coach Sitake and Coach Grimes, what's the game atmosphere like when you're on headset? Explain that to people that haven't experienced that.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, we make a lot of decisions. I think during the week, whether it's offense, defense, or special teams, the play calls are kind of already set. You're just choosing what you think fit the best, and depending on what adjustments you have to make, whether a guy's injured or banged up, or what you're seeing from the defense or offense or special teams. So, but I'm really there to support them and all the decisions that they make, and I have a lot of confidence in our coaching staff, and in Grimey, as an offensive coordinator, has done a great job leading that group and establishing an offense that can change with the personnel that we have. I mean, we had a lot of tight ends and fullbacks earlier, and those guys have been injured or different reasons they're not on the field, and now he's adjusting to what talent we have, and that's a huge compliment to what he's done as far as laying the foundation and being able to change as an offense, even though you have we've gone from even in the gun more than under center. That's a hard transition, but it seems pretty easy for our offense.
All right, Coach. I know you've called some plays from the booth recently. Do you have a preference to whether you're calling them in the booth or on the field?
Depends which side of me is answering the question. My emotional side, I enjoy being on the field with the guys where I can put my hands on them and look them in the eyes and be there to challenge or encourage whatever's needed at the time. But when we went to this style of offense, there's a little bit more of a feel to the game than a more traditional huddle type of offense where you're picking more pre-snap plays, preset plays. So I think it's best to be up in the box.
All right, now time for some studio questions. The first in from Calvin Whaley.
Coach, we saw some jet sweep success this last week against Massachusetts. It seemed like it had kind of fallen out of favor in the middle part of the season. Was there something teams were doing to take the jet sweep out of the offense? And what was Massachusetts that you saw that allowed you to have success with it again?
That's a great question. We've used it in every game to some extent, some more so than others. And I've always said we want to have the type of offense that's versatile enough to take advantage of what the defense is giving us. And in some games, defenses have worked really hard to take away the perimeter runs with wide edges or corners who are supporting the run from the outside. And so in those games, then you move to something else and you take what they're giving you, so to speak. So in some games, we just haven't used it as much. But the style of offense that we're playing now doesn't lend itself to quite as much of that as we were doing earlier. So it'll continue to be a part of our offense, just not quite as much as we were doing earlier in the season.
Okay, thank you, Calvin. Thank you, Coach. Now a social media question. Rob Miller asks on Facebook, what's the hardest lesson you've learned this year as the offensive coordinator?
I don't know if there have been any hard lessons. I've been coaching for 25 years, and so I think I've kind of been prepared for this, and I've kind of been getting ready for it for a long time. But it's certainly been a learning experience for me, but it's been more a matter of learning my players and learning my staff and getting a better understanding of their skill sets and what each guy can bring to the table. And as the season has evolved, we've really tried to put guys in position where they can really excel and do what they do best. And so I think it's just learning to pay really close attention to the specific gifts that coaches and players have.
Okay, next question in on social media from at Tyler Thompson 96 on Twitter. This is for Kalani. Coach, one of my friends bailed on our group for the basketball game. Do you want a front row spot with us in the Rock?
For tonight, I have to go to work, man. After this, we got to go back and watch practice and everything. But I will be there as soon as the season's done. I promise you. And I'm in better shape now for dancing. So I can hang in there with the Rock a little bit more than one half.
Coach Grimes, can you confirm Kalani's ability to dance?
Absolutely, without question. And he does it after most games.
Do you do any dancing after games?
Only when forced to.
He did this last week.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
It was awesome.
It was great to see him
yes.
dance.
Yes, yes. Mondays at 1 Eastern, we talk with the BYU football coordinators on Coordinator's Corner, featuring Jeff Grimes, Eli Satuyaki, and Ed Lamb. Mark your calendars, Mondays 1 Eastern on BYU TV and BYU Radio. After the break, a preview of tonight's BYU basketball game. In fact, I think we should let the coach ask questions to our broadcast team as BYU football with Kalani Sitake continues.
In the timeline of life, you make choices every day, like buying your first car, what a beaut, or serving your mission. You come home and hop right into college. And then that magic day comes, marriage. Getting married is incredible and pricey. But you know what? Children are even pricier. Your family grows and you need that first home. No matter where you are in the timeline of life, Deseret First Credit Union is right there with you. DFCU, your values, your timeline, your financial future.
Living at Trio is not about retirement. It's about fun.
It was so different from everything we'd been taught to expect about senior living.
I was delighted when we came and they had these raised gardens.
Just love it here. I wish more people knew about Trio.
Learn more at btrio.com.
Hetty.
Hetty. Hetty.
Hattie. Hetty. Hattie. Hetty.
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 Hetty feather.
Hetty.
Hetty feather.
Hetty. Yes, that's me.
I ain't got no chill. I ain't got no chill.
The BYU TV Sports Countdown to Kickoff. BYU versus New Mexico State. 9 Eastern, 7 Mountain. Saturday on BYU TV.
Tristan Hodge, sophomore, offensive line, favorite movie, anything Marvel. Favorite non-BYU sports team, Steelers, bucket place to go, Bora Bora. Favorite music group, Red. Favorite food, steak. Would you rather sing or dance? Sing. Beach or mountains? Mountains. Favorite TV show, Game of Thrones. Favorite non-football hobby, hunting. Favorite athlete, probably Merrill Hodge. 11, biggest fear, spiders. Favorite superhero, Venom. Michael LeBron. Favorite coach, Pugh.
Welcome back to BYU Football with Kalani Sitake on BYU TV and BYU Radio, presented by Intermountain Healthcare. BYU men's basketball preparing to host Northwestern State in just a few minutes at the Marriott Center. So let's go live to Dave McCann and Blaine Fowler courtside. Guys, what kind of matchup are we about to watch between the Cougars and Demons?
Thank you, Spencer. Coach, good evening. We've been trying to get on Coach's show for 10 years now.
Yeah, they won't let us on. This is the first time ever.
We had to have a basketball game just to get on.
And I went to football practice today, but they didn't notice because I snuck in.
That's right. That's right. Hey, we're going to have a track meet here tonight. The Demons are in town, and they're going to go at full speed. They substitute 5 at a time, kind of like how Coach does the defense. Also, 11 guys go out, 11 guys run off. That's what we're going to see tonight.
Yeah, this is a basketball team in Northwestern State that wants to play with pace. They're a very athletic basketball team, and Coach McConaughey's reputation is one of the top scoring teams in the country every year. So as Dave mentioned, he'll sub 5 guys at a time. They want to press all over the floor. They want to turn you over, and they want to run up and down the floor. He'd like a score in the mid-80s, if not 90.
It'll be fun. This is a cool place, as Coach knows. I heard a moment ago he's confirmed he's going to come to the Rock as soon as after they beat Utah and win the bowl game, and so then that's good.
So today we were talking to Dave Rose, and he was saying he wished they had more size, and he's concerned about rebounding because of that.
Right.
And he was making a pitch to get Corbin Kafusi back.
Seemed like he was. He didn't say those exact words,
but
that's
what you and I interpreted, because Corbin is the Gonzaga killer, and they need him back here.
That's so, Coach, if you could get him in good shape, then he could come back over and play. Also, we did some research, and Zach Wilson was a 2-year starter up at Corner Canyon playing basketball. 46 varsity games, skipped his senior year because he got done early and came to spring ball. So if it doesn't work out at quarterback, Zach could also come over here and play basketball.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we could definitely do some sharing. I think I could use Zach to play, and Yoli could play, be a great tight end for us. So I think Coach Rose and I will get together and compare notes. So I'll loan him Corbin whenever he's ready for him. Gonzaga for sure.
All right, are you guys, Kalani always has to answer your questions, so we're going to let him ask you guys a few questions. Kalani,
well,
fire away.
Blaine, I already asked the question, but Gavin already told me he's a better golfer than you are. And then Dave, your tie game is really strong right now with that shirt. So you guys look great, and just have a great night. I just want to know who's going to dunk the first ball tonight.
Who's going to do what?
Dunk. Who's going to dunk first?
You know what? Yoli's going to get the first dunk, but
Baxter will get the one we remember.
Yeah, Baxter,
like
the freshman return missionary, he's got a 7'3" wingspan and a 38+ inch vertical jump, and he's ridiculous. We're going to see a lot of dunk highlights from Baxter before his career is over.
Coach, let's talk about your basketball career. Were you a church ball aficionado, or when did the game really come together
I
for
played
you?
high school basketball, but in my career, I fouled more than I've scored points. So I've had more foul outs than you can remember.
I'm not surprised. Are you surprised?
No,
I'm not surprised at all.
Kalani's a tough guy, and he likes the physical part of the game.
No flopping with me. Yeah, it's real.
Coach, we were there with you when you were announced as new head coach at BYU, and we talked in the hallway afterwards, spent some time with your family. You're just the right man to be in charge of this football program. We're excited to get bowl eligible Saturday and get things going, but it's been a pleasure to hang out with you, and wish you the best of luck moving forward in these next couple weeks.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's going to be a lot of fun. I had a lot of great memories in the Marriott Center as a young kid, as a fan, and I'm looking forward to seeing this team. I think Coach Rowe's done a great job. I have great athletes out there. Tell Zach to let it fly. I've never seen a three-pointer I didn't like.
Hey, all right, guys. Thank you for being our warm-up band tonight.
Absolutely.
The main event's ready to come take the stage. So we'll see you in about 6 minutes.
Go Cougs.
All right, Dave McCann and Blaine Fowler, thank you guys, and thank you, Coach. That was
Let's go
fun.
to the game.
We should do more interviews.
Just skip work and go to the game then.
The Marriott Center will be rocking in just a few minutes as BYU takes on Northwestern State, coming up next on BYU TV and BYU Radio. BYU trying to get 2-1. Up next on BYU Football with Kalani Sitake, the final thoughts from the coach as his team prepares for senior night and what they hope is win.
Are you looking for a better way to deliver results this year? Expanding your product line or building new locations? How about your online presence? Does it need a boost? Maybe you just want to put a little more distance between you and the competition. Tap into the powerful engine of BYU Athletics and let us put together a plan unique to your business. We can provide you with the tools designed to enhance your brand on a local, regional, or national level. We invite your team to join ours. For details, email sponsorship@byu.edu today.
For a special sketch that you guys might be seeing. It's a fun character that might be coming back. I don't want to say too much, but just know it's going to be baller.
Blue runs deep on BYU TV. Watch BYU take on Oral Roberts live Thursday at 9 Eastern, 7 Mountain on BYU TV. Watch all of your favorite BYU teams on BYU TV, your home for Cougar sports.
I ain't got no chill.
The BYU TV Sports Postgame. BYU versus New Mexico State. Saturday after the game on BYU TV.
Welcome back to BYU Football with Kalani Sitake, presented in part by Smith's. Low prices, market fresh at Smith's. Kalani, this will mark a third senior night for you as the head coach. Not surprisingly, it's going to be emotional. What's your 10-second speech to all of those seniors?
Well, just enjoy it. And more than anything, the seniors will just tell the fans how much they love them. I think it's a good opportunity for us to see the fans again one last time this year with this senior class in LaVell Edwards Stadium, and we'll have a lot of fun, and we'll see what happens afterwards.
Support your local troops. Thanks, Coach. See you next Tuesday at 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain for our season finale of the show. For senior running back Matt Hadley, offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes, and the head coach Kalani Sitake, I'm Spencer Linton. Watch basketball next.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel, someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining